Hello and welcome to Organic Edible Garden. As the moon is entering a new phase, our focus this week is on herbs. We talk about how to grow the dry loving or aromatic herbs and put in companion plants around our tomatoes. These herbs include things like thyme, sage, marjoram, oregano, rosemary and tarragon. All of these herbs like dry, warm conditions. They're the opposite of what we looked at before, the wet herbs. Things like your coriander, your chervil, your mint and your dills. If we were to plant something like a coriander, which is a wet loving herb, with a thyme, which is a dry loving herb, in summer the thyme would thrive and the coriander would suffer. In winter it would be the other way around. In between that are things like your parsley and your chives. They'll take the warm weather, but they also like the moisture. And then there's everybody's favourite summer herb, basil. Basil likes warm soils and hot sunny conditions, but it also likes to have lots of moisture and lots of nutrients in the ground. Unlike the aromatic herbs, which like it a lot drier and they don't want a high nutrient soil. When putting in your herb garden, it's best to keep all your aromatic or Mediterranean herbs together in the same place. They're all perennial, so they'll last a couple of years. They all have a really good flower that's great for your beneficial insects and are also edible. In springtime, when they're looking woody, you can give them a hard chop back and they'll come back with fresh new growth. And one last thing to remember is that these dry herbs like an alkaline soil, so a good dressing of lime is really useful before planting. This makes them not so compatible with something like your tomatoes, which likes a high acid soil. However, your basils do. Remember, when planting basils, there's more than just one type. There's your sweet Genovese, which is your general all-round basil, but there are other types. Here we have a lettuce basil, which is great for making pesto. It has huge leaves and is a good bulker. You have things like your Greek mini basils, which sit in pots on your windowsill. They're great at keeping the flies away. Your red basils for your summer salads, they look great, but you can't use them for pesto making. Then for a bit of flavour, there's a lemon basil, which gives a bit of zing. And finally for Asian cooking, there's your Thai basil. It's got a very cinnamony, clovey, nutty flavour that is great for that type of food. Now all of these basils, when they flower, also you can eat those flowers. They're sweet and they also have the flavour of the basil that they come from. Now that our soil is warming up, it's a good time to plant our basil as a companion for the tomatoes. Basil and tomatoes are great together, and as a rule of thumb, if they taste good together, they're a good companion plant. But before I plant the basil, I need to tie up my tomatoes. These have been in about 3 weeks and they're starting to need that staking now. What I use is a soft t-shirt material. Be careful not to use a hard material like a wire or a string that can cut into the stem of the tomato. Even though these tomatoes look like they might need delateling, today's not a great day for it. I delatel my tomatoes when there's clear blue skies and a slight breeze. Today we're overcast and quite humid, and if I break open the shoots, it can open it up for infection. I'm spacing the basil out and planting about 2 per tomato plant. And remember, slugs and snails love basil, so now's the time to put your traps out. I also like to grow beneficial flowers around my tomato plants. They bring in the parasitic wasps and the hoverflies and they keep the bugs away. I want to grow low growing flowers, so things like your marigolds, your catmint, your nasturtiums and your phacelia. These are great around your tomatoes.